So here we are on day 2, and the first thing we're going to do is look at the weather report, and it's going to rain all day tomorrow. I guess it's day 3. That was a mistake on my part. I said it was day 1. Always the second day of the spring. Whoops. The forecast lied to me yesterday. I guess it probably assumed you probably didn't know to check that, but I don't know. Anyway, so we're gonna water all these things here. And then I'm going to plant those mixed seeds that I got. So I usually just kind of add along here. It's usually a big mess when I first play, or first spring. It gets more organized, so if you're worried that you're gonna have to water these every single day and year, as you saw the watering can was empty there, well, you don't have to worry about that because you can get sprinklers later on, and your watering can actually water more than one crop itself once you've upgraded it. Anyway, hello there, just got back from a fishing trip. You should come down to the beach sometime. I got something for ya, Willy. And so since we're done with that, and I'm actually going to clear these because if you're not careful, some of the weeds and growth can actually destroy your farm. So these things, the sap here, is actually good for fertilizer, which we can't get yet, but if you can see, this shows the various things that you need for crafting these things. Next thing I'm probably going to craft is a path so that it's running faster, but first I'm actually going to craft this campfire. I could do this, but I craft this campfire because it provides quite a bit of light, so we need 10 wood, 10 stone, and this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and chop down this tree. I'll leave the stump though, just because we need some more wood anyway, and because I'm lazy and that's just faster, so I'm gonna go ahead and craft this campfire. And there is a point system for crafting all these things, so I'm gonna craft this campfire, and at nighttime it'll be more obvious as to why I did this, and I'm just gonna toss those in there. Actually, I'm going to sell this fiber just to get a little bit of more money. So I'm going to head into town, and I'm actually going to talk to Willy. I could have actually dumped a bunch of these, and I'm actually going to do that now that I think of it, after I pick up that. So you don't have to carry your tools all around with you. You can put them in the chest. I do recommend paying attention to where you put them because you might lose them and have a hard time finding them. So the things I'm going to drop in is there, and I'm going to leave the hoe with me. Pickaxe I'm not going to need, and the scythe I will keep for now. So I can actually move that over there. And the leek and daffodil are things that I'm actually going to keep because the daffodil is a good gift to give people, and the leek is one of the favorite things of one of the other characters whom we have not yet met. And yes, we have not met him yet. As you can see, there's also an update to the beach. Well, we will go to the beach in just a moment. So, as I said on this thing here, the notice board, you can see the calendars on the right side, so if I interact on the right side, and now it says that it's day 2, and this is grayed out because we've been past this day. Well, also on here, on the right side, is the help wanted, and so various times you'll see that there is a help post there. And I'm going to give Alex this daffodil. Thanks! And well, it wouldn't move much, but he is now there, and as you can see, the X is here. This is for the gifts, and we've now given him 1 gift per this week. And so the reason why I recommend going through the garbages is because there's some good finds that you can get, which is especially helpful. Ahoy there, miss! Heard there was a newcomer in town. Good to finally meet ya. I'm still trying to unwind from a month out on salty seas. It was a big haul. I sold a lot of good fish. Finally saved enough to buy me a new rod. Here, I want you to have my old fishing rod. It's important to me that art of fishing stays alive, and hey, maybe you'll buy something from the shop once in a while. Maybe. Might be find myself that way. You received a bamboo pole. There's good water here in the valley. All kinds of fish. Oh yeah, my shop's back open now, so come by if you need supplies. I'll also buy anything you catch. If it smells, it sells. That's what my old pappy used to say anyway. And so when there's a cutscene like this, the game time pauses, so don't have to be stressed about that. Now you see we have the bamboo pole, and while I can't reach this right now because my fishing rod sucks and my fishing skill sucks, it's best to try to get it into the deep water over there. And so what I did was left-clicked, hold, and try to fill that to the green to full cast, and then we wait for the fish. So while we're in this stance, the time still goes on, and you see I just missed the fish there. So when there's an explanation point, you want to click, left click, and then it'll bring up this. And because this is the first fish that's been brought up, it'll have the tutorial, and you can't not catch this fish. So as you can see, it's no longer in the green thing, so what I'm doing is left clicking, and it will bring that little bar. So clicking repeatedly, clicking and holding, depends on the fish of which of those two I do. As you get a better fishing rod and higher fishing skill, things get a lot easier. So fish are good for cooking, selling, and also for eating. So as you can see, this sardine was a silver quality, and it also gives us 18 energy or plus 7 health. And then there's seaweed, which is just about as good as that sardine, but its value is a lot lower. And so there's no help anymore, and our fishing bar is very tiny, so it's up to us and our fishing skill of catching this fish. There we go. And we caught another sardine, except it's just a regular quality. And I usually find that the quality of the fish is better if you manage to keep it a perfect catch. So like, as you can see, it's in my green bar. If it ever goes out after a certain amount of time, the fish quality drops. And we caught ourselves a herring. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up my backpack here without getting garbage. And yes, there is garbage. There is a use for it later on. I wouldn't be too worried about keeping it right away. You'll probably catch a lot of it when you're fishing from the start. So usually when I catch a fish and my backpack is full, I'll toss out the garbage then, and then add that fish into my inventory. So that's a nice thing, is that if your inventory is full and you find something you do want and something you want to toss, you don't miss out on that opportunity. You still have that option to catch or get whatever that thing was, and then you have a choice to either toss something or wave high and bye to it. And some fish are easier to catch than others. One thing also note that fishing takes a lot of energy, and the more you cast, the more energy is consumed. So try to cast as best as you can without having to recast every single time, because that's when the energy is used. And there's also chests that you can get, and I missed the opportunity for that. I did record it, but I was too busy. I'm like, oh yeah, there was chests, and then I lost my focus and I missed a fish. So when there's a chest, you have to have the mouse bar over it to catch it, but you also have to be careful because depending on especially early on, if that fish falls out of that green bar for an extended period of time, you will lose that fish, and then also you will not get that chest. So in order to get the chest, not only do you have to have the green bar over it for extended a period of time to collect it, but you also have to catch that particular fish in order to go back get both the fish and the chest. And so the chest has a number of different items. It can have some very rare items in there. It can have useless junk. It can have some really useful stuff and various other things, so I think depending on your luck will determine. So as you can see, the backpack is full, and there I'm going to toss out this, that, and that. And now I have an anchovy. And some of these things I'm actually going to hang on to. So what I do in the beginning is I hang on to at least one of everything. And that's mostly because a lot of the stuff is going to be required for the community center. And so I'll show that later on. But before I lose all of my energy, I'm going to go around and collect things. So here's a clam. And an oyster. And an oyster. And this is why I kept my hoe. Because sometimes there's things that are good. In this case, there's stone. And I'm going to actually eat the seaweed. And pick up that stone. And then there's this bridge. This costs 200 gold. Or, not gold, wood. As you can see. Wood. Oh, 300. My bad. Pieces of wood that could be fixed. So that's my next recommendation, is saving enough wood for that, because there's good stuff on the other side. Plus there's fish that you can only get on that side. And the rare appearance of Elliot. Ah, the new farmer we've all been expecting, and whose arrival has sparked many a conversation. I'm Elliot. I live in the little cabin by the beach. It's a pleasure to meet you. And we'll introduce ourselves to Sam here. Hey, I'm Sam. Good to meet you. Yeah, I totally knew who you are beforehand. So there's a couple of garbage cans over here as well, and sometimes there's forage bowls. This is the museum, and look at that, there's this. And what are we going to get rid of? We are going to get rid of the stone. And this is why you look in here, because that's very good energy to start. It's also a decent amount of money to be made. So nothing in that one. This is the blacksmith. This is where you upgrade your tools. And I'll just leave that there. We'll get many of those. And there's another random appearance of someone. Hello? Random person who we don't know. Shane. What do you want? Go away. Okay, fine, I'm going away. Anyways, so I could have sold these fish to Willy, but I'm actually just going to put them in the bin there. And I'm probably going to eat this bread, and then I'm going to probably clear up some of the stuff. So things that I don't usually carry around with me is the fishing rod, unless I'm leaving the farm to actually go fishing. So there's fishing in the lakes. So I'll open up the map here, and I hit the M button there instead of the menu. So there's fishing up in this lake, and there will be different fish there. There's fishing in the ocean, which will obviously have different fish there. And then there's fishing in the river, and if I'm not mistaken, throughout all of this river up to the point of the lake, so not the lake, but up in here, is all the same fish. I could be mistaken. And then I think it's mostly just junk that's in there. And that's a wizard's tower. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop all these things in there, so I'll make some decent amount of money and that, and I'm going to eat this. And then I am going to plop that in there. I'm gonna pick this up again, and this up again. And I am going to, I have a very particular order of where I put those things. I am going to go around and try to collect some more of the... Actually, I'm going to go south first and see if there's any spring onions. If I can. Haha. And there we go. We got some mixed seeds. Yay, us. I am going to see if there are any spring onions, because that's also good energy, as I mentioned before. And then I will figure out which direction I need to go. And then I will go back to my farm and start clearing out some more of that stuff. So another thing to do before you get a little gung-ho with clearing all the things, so obviously it takes a lot of energy to water every day until everything is grown. Well, fortunately tomorrow, game day, it's going to be raining, so we don't actually have to water then, which is why I want to get as much planted as I can, which actually should have been why I sold stuff to Willy. Oh well. It's also a good day for planting, so then you only have to hoe and then plant, so that's time consuming, but as I said, less energy consumed. Or not consumed, used. And which is why rainy days are good days for planting, because you can get more done, especially if you have a lot of planting to do. Okay, it is getting dark. I'm going to head back to my farm and clear up some stuff there after I pick up this. And another thing to do is check on Fridays, and I forgot the date, but there's a cart usually there. I'll look it up. I use the Wikipedia a lot. Right now I haven't so far. It's just partly because it's important to remember the events so you can kind of plan your day ahead. Because I'm going to try to do the 2-year thing of getting as many points as I can. So that includes having an in-game marriage to whatever NPC you choose, or if you're playing co-op, your whomever you might happen to be playing with. And then there's upgrading your house, there's having 2 children, which obviously you can't have without being married in this game. And then there's various other things, including shipping everything, so on and so forth. And I'm going to head back over there, otherwise I'm going to get lost behind all these things. And I'm going to quickly plant those things as well. So the Wikipedia has all the list of the various points and stuff that you can get, and what they're worth and whatnot. It also explains all the events, what you can do. Then there's various guides and stuff, and as I said, there's a lot of well, I can't remember if I said this, but there's a lot of playthroughs of Stardew Valley that a lot of people have done. But it's always nice to see a different playthrough. And so, as I mentioned, this is why I did that, because now I can see things. So I'm going to sell that, and I'm going to sell that. And I'm going to toss the wood into here. And I could have sold those as well, but meh. So that is it for this one. And our fishing went up a level. And our foraging went up a level, so we got new crafting recipes. And this is the breakthrough that I mentioned in the first video of what we sold, and so we made a surprising amount of 740 gold. And so our clam and wild horseradish are worth 50 gold each, and the money we made was the fish here. Herring, oyster, herring, sardine, sardine times 4, anchovy, and also this. So each one is worth 1 gold, so if you get a lot of them, that's quite a bit of gold. And of course, it also has the list of day 2 of spring year 1. And then it saves. Saving. Your progress has been saved, and then day 3 of spring year 1. And thus we start the next day. But that will be for the next video. Thanks for watching!